Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good. I am excited about the prospect of what we're here to announce today. City Councilwoman, if you'd come up and join us, ma'am. Great. It's great to have you out here. This is a great day, and the weather is, the wind is at our backs because we have sails up and we have a fantastic candidate who is making his coming out, but he's already been working very hard. Let's give a hand for Anthony Phillips, who we're here today to celebrate and to announce that he is running. He is the Democratic nominee for City Council for the 9th Councilmatic District. He is a person of integrity. He is someone who we have watched glowingly develop young people. But we would not be here for several entities. One, God. Anthony acknowledges that if it had not been for God on his side, where would he be? He also recognizes that there are people who've come before him. His grandmother came from South Carolina, and then his mother, who worked tirelessly to make sure he had a fantastic education. And then we're also here because of the wisdom and courage of a city councilwoman, Sister Sherelle Parker, who has resigned to seek fairer and warmer climes as the mayor of the city of Philadelphia. So we pray for her and wish her well. But I think she also should be publicly commended for making a bold and audacious decision to support someone like Anthony Phillips to succeed her. And so I think we definitely owe her a debt of gratitude for her wisdom and her courage and her dedication and commitment. These are Anthony's friends, but they're also people who have a lot of equity and stock in the city of Philadelphia. And so without further ado, you're going to hear from many of them. I'd like to introduce to you State Representative Jordan Harris.
I'm first, okay. First and foremost, good still morning to all of you, and it's such a pleasure to be here this morning. Listen, I've known Anthony since he was 14 years old, and we met at a youth leadership conference a long time ago, now that I actually think about it. And what I can tell you about Anthony is there is no doubt in my mind of his commitment and care for people. You know, in politics, I think we get a lot of confusion. There's different camps and there's different groups and there's all of this other stuff. And at the end of the day, we forget that all of this is supposed to be about people. Supposed to be about people. There are people who literally are going into our supermarkets today and they're not able to purchase all of the things necessary to provide food for their families. There are folks who are going to the pump who need to go to work every day, and they really cannot afford to put gas in their car to get there. There are folks who are walking our streets who are scared, who are literally terrified because they don't know if they're going to make it back to their home. That ain't got nothing to do with where you live. That ain't got nothing to do with your political affiliation. That's really just about people. And for me, I like to support folk who aren't aligned with any type of ideology, but are aligned with the goal that the gospel for a hungry person is that you can be fed. The gospel for a sick person is that you can be healed. And government is supposed to be at the core, at its foundation, about helping people. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Anthony Phillips has the heart that is necessary to help people in this community. And it is my honor and my privilege to stand here today with this brother as he moves forward with this endeavor. I agree with you, Pastor. It was wisdom for former council member Sherelle Parker to look to this young brother to succeed her. So we thank her for her wisdom. But I know that Anthony's family raised him, for his mother would be so proud of him today if she could be here. I was there on the day he came back to the city of Philadelphia when he found out that his mother had passed away. I was there. I was at the house waiting for him. I can tell you that she raised him for a time like this. This is the moment that we need leadership and leaders who go beyond what they believe is necessary, but do everything in their power for the people, because people are struggling. They're dying. They're hurting. And they need leaders who understand that. And Anthony Phillips is that leader. It is my privilege, my pleasure, and my honor just to be a guy from South Philadelphia who knew this brother from uptown to say that Anthony Phillips should be the next council person in this district because he cares about people and he will do the right thing. God bless you all.
Representative Harris has already invoked the gospel, and I can tell you that Anthony is a firm believer in God, and he still drives the church bus at the church and has committed as his first policy to continue to drive the church bus. Speaking of gospel, Pastor Harold Jolly is here, the pastor of Second Macedonia Baptist Church.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So delighted to be able to be here on this historic day and for this monumental event about what's going to happen in the 9th Climatic District. I have been the pastor of Second Macedonia Baptist Church for the last 10 years, and we have had our boots to the ground, making sure that we are in the community. We are a missional church. Working with Sherelle Parker's office, we have tried our best to ensure that those who are in need get what they need. So I'm so excited on today about Anthony. We have had our conversations. I have not known him as long as others, but the first few conversations that we have had, I could tell his heart. And it's something about knowing someone's heart and the care for others. We bonded on that note, knowing that he wants more for community. So on the back of the t-shirts that many people are wearing, it says, "Hold me accountable." So we're definitely going to hold him accountable. And we have an expectation that he's going to hold the community accountable also for us to be able to make a difference and to turn our district around and for it to exceed past the Philadelphia proper. And so we can be a role model of community for places everywhere. So I want to say congratulations. We are looking forward to what's going to happen. And I'm going to encourage everyone to get out and vote.
Someone who's going to hold all of us accountable has been a longtime servant of this community. I haven't known him more than 11 minutes, but he's already made me feel at home. I introduced myself as Marshall. I said, "Mr. Lett." He said, "Ralph." We need that kind of intimacy in our community, and so the ward leader of the 53rd Ward, Brother Ralph Lett.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody to come out. Thank you, Anthony, for taking this opportunity to announce your candidacy. And for the next Councilmatic 9th District, we appreciate you doing that. Unlike a lot of people, and I agree with the pastor, I have not known, if I may, Ant that long. We met a couple of months ago, and he asked to speak with me at a gathering for Sherelle Parker. And he didn't tell me why at the time, but we had breakfast, and he told me his thoughts and his dream. And one that endeared me to him is the fact that I'm a retired educator, and he will be a retired educator. It's unlike any other time we live in, what we're going through today. We need people who are concerned about making a difference, who not talk the talk, but they're going to walk it also. That's what this young man is going to do. And I also told him what the Reverend said in the back of his church: be accountable. Don't make promises unless you can keep them. So often we have people come in the community and make us promises and we never see them again. I'll tell you the same thing I told him. I'm going to hold them accountable. And some of my people in my ward who works with me, they're going to hold him accountable. Great young man. He had the opportunity to go other places with his background, but he chose to come back home. Anthony, he will be our next council person. Thank you, my brother.
Ralph and I are the only two people up here with gray hair, and that's a good sign. I can't tell what is going on with Pastor Jolly's hair, but it's not gray. There is a big change in this city of younger leaders, and those of us who are in the Ralph and Marshall category are looking on glowingly and with great admiration, because our time has come and almost gone. But the time has come for young leaders like Anton Moore, who's a friend of Anthony's and someone who can speak on his behalf.
So I would like to, salute my good friend Anthony. We didn't start off on the right track. Anthony, I made a comment on Facebook, and Anthony decided to comment. And I think I ripped Anthony from South Philly all the way up to the Northwest. But from that point, we formed a relationship. I realized that this brother loved young people. Right now, we're in a crisis when it comes to young people in the city of Philadelphia. We need a person like Anthony Phillips, who is what I call, and a word that I'm using moving forward, a wartime council person that's willing to get out there, fight, but have the sincere love for our young people. It was multiple times he called me and said, I need you to come and talk to my young people. And I went in there and talked to him, but I saw the love that the young people had for Anthony Phillips. And it was sincere love, genuine love. That's what our young people need. And that's what Anthony Phillips possessed. We need somebody who creates an envision for our young people. And I look forward to working with Anthony Phillips because I know Anthony Phillips cares. When you have a person on the phone 1, 2 o'clock in the morning talking about what they're going to do for young people, you know that they love the people in our city. When you have a person that get up 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and have a ward meeting in the middle of a block on a hot day, 95 degrees, you know they love our seniors. He said, can you come up to Northwest? I said, what time, Phil? He said, 8 o'clock. I said, 8 o'clock on a Saturday? But when I was able to come out to that block, you saw all the young people gathered around, just listening to Anthony as he laid down the foundation and talked about the things that he wanted to do. I'll say this again, we need wartime council members like Anthony Phillips to lead the way, and I'm happy to support this brother, and I look forward to working with him from St. Philip.
Thank you, man. Every wartime leader needs a wartime cabinet and another person in council who understands where he's coming from and what it requires. And you could not find anybody tougher, more bold, more courageous, and smarter than the lady who's about to come forward. She is a city councilwoman extraordinaire, Kathy Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you so much, Pastor, and greetings and good morning to each and every one of you here. It is certainly my humble honor and privilege to stand before you in support of my friend Anthony Phillips. Now, I had to think about this. I said, now, how long have I known Anthony? Because it's been quite a while. It's more than 10 years. I remember when he was back at Youth Action, when you all were working at Youth Action, and I will tell you that he has always had a humble servant's heart. And that matters in this work. And let me tell you why. Ward leader talked about how people come up and make promises and you never see them again. And you talk about your platform, and you talk about how you want a new ninth, and you talk about how you have a vision for the community. And, you make a list of things that you want to do and achieve in the role. But I will tell you this, 9 times out of 10, 8 out of the 24 hours of the day, you will have to make decisions about issues that you were not able to talk about on the trail. So you want someone in that role who you know will have your very best interests at heart, someone who cares about the community, someone who has invested in our young people and will do the right thing on your behalf. That's what you want as your representative in Philadelphia City Council. And I can tell you that from being there and serving in this role. So I'm here to support Anthony Phillips for such a time as this. For such a time as this. We are in perilous times. And I tell my team every day, every single day, what a time to be alive in Philadelphia government and politics. Why? Not because it's something to celebrate. Because right now we need folks who really care about the future of this city and what we want to see for our city. We are dealing with multiple crises on every level, and we need partners in city government who can come to the table, do the hard work, and ensure that we can deliver on your behalf. So that's why I'm here today to fully support and endorse my colleague, because I won't be a freshman anymore after he comes, Anthony Phillips, for the 9th Councilmatic District here in the city of Philadelphia. And I ask each and every one of you, all of you who are here, and I thank you for being here, I ask each and every one of you to do something every single day on his behalf. How many people can you call? How many doors can you knock? How much can you give? Can you give until it hurts? Because it takes revenue to get the message out there to as many people as possible. This is not going to be easy. See, today this is a good day. Sharon can tell you. right? This is a good day today and it feels good. But some of those nights and some of those days, it doesn't feel good. And you have to keep going and you can't stop and you need support and you need people to help you. I can attest to that because I've been there. So let's not make today the first and the last day. Let's be there every day until he gets the victory. Anthony Phillips to the 9th Council District. Thank you.
Anthony is smart enough and astute enough to know that he's going to need some women leading him, blocking and tackling and quarterbacking and pushing him through. And so he's on the right team, but he's also going to need some strong women behind him. And the woman who I'm going to introduce is a strong woman who is behind him, Sharon Vaughn from the 42nd Ward.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here for this young man. I believe that he is going to be a dynamic force on City Council. For someone that has spent 33 years of her life in the halls of City Hall, I am looking forward to be next to Anthony as a colleague. I will be a freshman council person this November. And I am looking forward to being with him. When I first met Anthony, the sincerity of his personality, the drive to work, and the spirit to help is what it takes a person to be an effective council person. And I'm looking forward to seeing him bring that to City Hall. And not to mention his youth. He has the energy that it takes to be a council person. I don't know if you all know how much time we spend of our lives out here trying to make a difference and to help people. But believe you me, this is not a 9-to-5 job. This is a job that consumes us if we care. You know, there's some that don't, and they just ride the boat. But those of us that do, we're constantly making phone calls, receiving phone calls, attending meetings. I'm a little tardy today because I was coming from a meeting. And I think since I resigned about 3 weeks ago, I've been working harder than going to City Hall every day from 9 to 5. But, of course, those were not my hours either because I am a person that does not leave until the job is done. And I'm asking you all to support me as well because I will be there to help Anthony. I will be there to steer him in the right direction. And because I know the players from being there for over 30 years, I'll make sure he doesn't get involved with the people that are trouble. Thanks for supporting Anthony.
I keep telling you, there are so many young people here who are leading the way. The next young man has already blazed a trail for himself, but he's blazing a future trail, and I think he's going to spend a lot of time on the turnpike headed to Harrisburg, starting in November or before. So put him to work. Brother Anthony Bellman.
Good morning, everybody. Is it still morning? Yes. All right, still morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Anthony Bellman. I'm here representing the 61st Ward, and I can probably say I've known Anthony Phillips a lot longer than everybody up here. And one thing that I know about Anthony is that he is very committed to the work. When he called and he said, you know, Anthony, I'm thinking about running for council, sometimes it's very... I get kind of worried about some people who want to run for council because of the reason why they want to run for council, about why they want to hold office. And when you look at the way the city is going, when you look at the way the state is going, when you look at the way that the country is right now, your reason why is a lot. It has to be a good reason. This is not an easy job to take, saying that when we have record numbers of homicide, when we have people who are unemployed, when the problems of this city are great, I want to be a part of the problem-solving solution. That's not an easy commitment to take on. And I'm glad that Anthony decided to take it on. And it's not that he's always been in politics, but he's always been in public service. This is not somebody who is running just to be running. He's somebody who is committed to the work that he wants to do. I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the work that he looks forward to doing. And one thing I can say about him too is that he's quick to learn. This is somebody who went to college, one of the first people in his family to go to college, one of the first people in his family to study at Morehouse, graduated from Yale University, working on his PhD. He's a smart person. He's a committed person. And when you're looking at somebody who's going to take a leadership role in the community, normally when you accumulate all of those titles behind your name, you can go anywhere in the world and do whatever you want to do. But for this young black man to say, I'm going to come back to Philadelphia and I'm going to become a committee person in the 50th Ward and I'm going to work in my community and now I'm going to run for city council and take care of my city, that to me is commendable. So on behalf of the 61st Ward, I'm here to congratulate him on taking this new endeavor and also to wish him the best of luck because I know it's not easy, but I know he's prepared for it. Thank you. Have a good day.
I think Anthony Bellman's got a future in politics. But we all know this guy's got a future in politics. Anthony Phillips.
Hey. Wow. So I'm just incredibly excited to be here with all of you today. Each of you have played a phenomenal role in my life, and I'm so thankful for your presence. I want to thank our elected officials and also community leaders and our friends, my friends. Jordan's story really touched me because he was there that night that my mother passed away. And I remember that like clockwork. And I also want to thank some of my new friends like Sharon Vaughn and Harold Jolly and Anthony Bellman for all the love that has given me over the years, and Mr. Ralph Lett, and then also our councilwoman Kathy Gilmore Richardson, and my boy Anton Moore. So Felicia Harris for all the work that she's done as well. I also want to begin by thanking God because this is why I'm here. This was not in my plans, but obviously God had a plan for me. As they said earlier, there's times where people have been, they want this office so badly. This was not in my purview. It came with much reflection and decision making to make this happen. And I'm happy that God made this plan for me because I'm ready to serve. So I want to say real quickly that we decided to have this press conference here at Tarkin Recreation Center for two reasons. One, because we want to, our 9th district is very large. It encompasses over 160,000 people. However, what I want to do is send a message to every member of this district that we are going to stretch ourselves to serve and meet the needs of everybody, no matter how far they are in this particular district. And number two, I also decided to be at Tarkin because I used to be a college counselor here on nights and weekends here at the Tarkin Recreation Center, helping students get ready for college and doing financial aid and so forth. So there's a symbolic reason for here. But I'm going to be quick with my remarks because as in Black Church, they'll tell you the sermon has already been said. So I'm just going to say a couple of things. I am here today because of two women, my grandmother and my mother, as mentioned. They instilled in me the following values: compassion, sacrifice, and perseverance. If it wasn't for these two women giving me the assignments of understanding the following, my grandmother used to say, go get your education. That was always something that she modeled for us. Even though she had an 8th grade education, she made sure that her children were in school and that her children taught their children the importance of being in school and doing well. The second assignment that my family instilled in me, my grandmother and mother instilled in me, is the following: always understand that your actions speak louder than your words. They never liked when I said that I was going to do something and I didn't do it. And from an early age, I learned the importance of doing what was asked of you, because people find it important that you are accountable to your actions. So that was the second assignment. And the third assignment that I learned from my family was the importance of hard work and sacrifice and being compassionate for others. I'm here today, as other people have said. A lot of my friends have left Philadelphia. Actually, one of my best friend has left Philadelphia because he has a lot of qualifications. He has a lot of things he's got going on for himself. But one of the things I always understood was that no matter where you journey in life, it's important to remember where you came from and how much you serve. And so I'm here today because I genuinely care about the development of our community. And it wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be possible without those two women instilling those values in me. I'm running for city council, particularly because in Philadelphia, I've helped thousands of young people go to college. I've helped thousands of young people become leaders in their communities. And I've also helped them develop career paths. But ultimately, I'm running for city council because we who do work in our community, sometimes we mow lawns to beautify our community. Sometimes we teach young people how to read. Sometimes we help that senior with a repair that they desperately needed for their house. That work sometimes is not spotlighted, but it's important work. And those who do work from the ground up, like myself and others here today, our work is not always spotlighted. And that work, because it's not spotlighted, we recognize the following: that we have some of the best ideas, some of the best initiatives that our community really needs, but our voices aren't at the forefront of leadership in the city. And so I'm here today because I want to serve as city council, because I want the voices of the people who have done public service but have not been able to be at the forefront of city council's leadership with their voices and their ideas. And lastly, I'm running because we have to invest in our children. It is the belief that when you invest in young people, that is going to take care of that single mom, that father, the seniors. It's going to take care of the entire community. And I believe that in this statement that I learned from the Maasai tribe in Kenya, it is a statement called, "How are the children?" In the Maasai tribe in Kenya, they don't greet each other saying, "How are you? How was your day? What's up?" They say, "How are the children?" It is the belief that if you put the children at the forefront of your community, you will be able to focus enough on policies and decisions that be great for the greater good of the community. So when you see Anthony Phillips, I believe that I want you to hold me accountable, not just to yourself, but to our children. And ask that question: how are the children to me? Because I want to be reminded every day of why I'm here and why I decided to run for city council. And that wasn't because of Anthony Phillips. That was because of them. And so as we work together, I would like for us to work so earnestly in Alany, Longcrest, Oxford Circle, all the way to Mount Airy and West Oak Lane and East Oak Lane and Logan. We want to work so earnestly to the point where we will be able to say that our children are well. And so when we think about our issues in our community, whether or not be schools, whether or not be issues around quality of life and crime, all these things can come to a great solution as long as we focus on our children. And so with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for being here today, this afternoon, this morning. But I want to say thank you so much for being here this afternoon. We have much work to do, but I know that we can do it, and we will do it very, very well. Thank you so much. Oh, I also want to note that if there's opportunities for us to volunteer, so go to phillipsforphilly.com. We need you to volunteer. We need you to donate and be a part and make sure that we get donate. I don't care if it's like $25, $5, $100, whatever that is. We need that as much as possible. And Felicia Harris is here. She's going to be really helpful. Emmanuel's here too, who's part of the campaign team. But I can't do this alone. We can get our message across to the city of Philadelphia as long as we work together. I didn't go into details about my platform and the issues, But I know that I have a big plan for those if you want to talk to me about it. But I don't want to exhaust y'all here with that today either. I can talk. All right. Thanks a lot, y'all. Yeah, I can talk. All right, let's take a photo, y'all. You want to do that? All right, cool. All right, we take a photo, then I want everybody else in a big photo.